So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. So we are very happy to have the official opening of the Welding Center, the Lucia and Bernard Melch Welding Center here in Be'er Sheva Technical College. Lucia, again, I don't know if you remember, Barbara and I visited you 2 years ago, and it was a pleasure talking then and getting to know a little bit about your history. I remember then you talked about giving a lecture to Polish students, right, Barbara? Remember then, you explained how you gave a really long lecture. It was very interesting. And I remember the story of Bernard studying in art school in the displacement camp during the late 1940s as a mechanical person, a mechanic technician, and then coming to the US in 1948 with $8 in his pocket, right? I remember that. I'm not sure it's right, but I remember it. I hope I remember it correctly. So I'm very happy that we are here finally after almost 2 years launching the Welding Center at the Technical College.
Excuse me for interrupting.
What?
Could you speak a little louder?
Can you get closer to the microphone?
Yeah.
That's right. Just get a little closer. That's better.
Yes. I didn't hear everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. So again, I wanted to thank you again for the donation for the Technical College, and of course for the other amazing project you and Bernard already donated in the past and are still donating, like the Dimona amazing project that we are doing for the STEAM Center in Dimona, which is for his, for its 9th year, but your contribution is doing amazing work in Dimona and the other places. So thank you very much for all the things that you're doing. I'm very, very happy to meet you again in New York or even in Israel, even better. So I want to present Dr. Zohar Nir from the college here, and he will talk now.
Hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and I have a privilege to thank you for all the precious donation, the important donation. This space, which is obviously the lab, contains lots of equipment, technical equipment, which is very necessary in order to study well. And I think that the most significant or important significance of this lab is by bridging the gap between the industrial world and the theoretical world, which is being taught in the Technological College of Be'er Sheva. In a minute, you will see a student of us, which is studying mechanics, and he will talk about the importance of using this kind of equipment. And I want to thank you from the heart of my heart, because I think that with this precious donation, we can enlarge our ability of teaching, to enlarge our ability, the ability of the student of learning and learning well. Those were my words. And again, I'm very happy to see you and to welcome you. And we want to see you here, not over the Zoom, but here realistic. And thank you very much.
Since we only have Zoom at the moment, would it be possible just for a second to, I assume it's a laptop or a camera, just to pan across the room so we can see?
Yes, that's exactly what we want to do now, and specifically even go to the unveiling of the plaque, and we'll do it. So I'll take you, hopefully I can do it. Can we? Mm-hmm. Go with the camera.
I will add that basically there are three aspects that we're focusing here in this specific lab, which is maintenance, welding, and metal working. And this is what the students are doing actually. So you see the technical equipment.
Where's the laundry equipment?
Okay. You see what they had to build? And
that's great. A lot of motors, obviously, mechanical systems, electrical systems. Very nice. Very practical and hands-on. I can tell you this, Bernard Milch would love to see wooden workbenches with actual, equipment, tools, diagnostic. That's how he started. That's how, on the farm, you had to fix stuff and learn. And it all starts from combining, as you say, the theoretical knowledge with the practical. I can certainly tell you I had experience myself many years ago. Many years ago when I had to fix some laundry equipment and someone told me the electrical power was off and I put my finger on a relay and jumped about 10 feet, you learn the difference between theory and practice. Almost electrocuted myself. So you got gears, those are bearing assemblies I see up there, different types of pillow block bearing assemblies on the wall. Very practical.
Like they're a little, oh, here they're back. Okay, great.
Yeah. So this is my who enjoys the lab. So we'll say a few words and then we'll unveil the Lucia and Bernard Milch lab.
So yeah, as you said, we have bearings here. We're learning mechanical and machine working and metal working. The lab is already operational, and there are classes here weekly, and the very interesting classes with a lot of participants.
Okay, so are you ready?
Erica?
We're ready.
Also the pictures.
Just for a minute.
We are ready, so here we go. Wait a minute, we have the
drum roll.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Can you zoom into it a little?
Very exciting. I'll show it to you.
Closer.
Very,
Beautiful.
Can you see? I can't see if you can see it.
Yeah, we see perfectly.
Lucia and Bernard Milch Welding Center from the Earth impact through the education.
Very nice. Lovely.
Neil, Dad would be extremely, very, very happy to see that. You know that.
Yep.
Dad
Well, he's seeing it through your eyes.
Exactly. And through the spirit of this man. I will speak a little bit later about him.
When all else fails, we have a place to go and go to work.
Yeah, I want to see David weld.
Absolutely. With
So
my eyes
so
closed.
Lucia, we'd be very honored if you will say a few words and tell us about Bernard and and you're welcome to say whatever you want. I mean, we are all here listening. Oh,
Mom, you're on.
Okay, in that case, if I'm on, I'm going to say a few words. I first of all need to introduce myself. My name is Lucia Milch, Mrs. Lucia Milch. You see my daughter-in-law, Leslie, who just left from the screen, and my two sons, Neil, our younger boy who is in the business. There is our daughter-in-law, and David, who is our oldest son. My husband, Bernard Milch, or in Hebrew, Baruch Milch, and I are Holocaust survivors. I say that deliberately and at the beginning. Our childhood years, for me, childhood years, because when the war broke out in 1939, I was only 8 years old. By 1943, when my mother and my little 4.5-year-old sister was murdered, and our town was declared in typical German style, Judenfrei, by that time, I was not yet 12, and it was all over for me. A similar background belongs to my husband, who was caught by the Germans 3 times. 3 times. The last time he was in prison with his brother, and they had to tear out a window made of iron guards. They were pulling and pushing and pushing and pulling on it all night long, because in the morning they were told, early in the morning, they'll be put against the wall and shot. These experiences have engraved themselves on our bones. And when we got married, my husband and I, we simply knew that in order to be able to go on living, we have to make some kind of a meaningful step so that that which we went through, no one, no Jew or anybody else will ever have to live through this again. And we always felt, my husband and I, one way of ensuring the security, the peace, the future, and the hope of a land, of a people, is through educating, speaking, warning over and over and over again what can happen if this is neglected. Now, as we all know here in the United States, in the diaspora, and as people know in Israel, a horrible plague which has plagued our people for centuries, namely anti-Semitism, is on the rise. I will not rest, as will my children not rest, and their children and those yet to come, until we will talk and talk and talk and do everything in our power to combat it. So our contribution to education, to young people, like those who are studying in the Beersheba College of Technology, will be coming through the doors. And when they finally leave on the other side with a degree, they will be having an ability not only to make a living for themselves, for their families, but to also make it possible for Israel to prosper, to be strong, and to say, we are here to stay with the help of every single decent person, certainly every single Jew. That was my purpose. And that would have been my husband's absolute approval, to be able to give it something towards an institution where people are educated, prepared, and ready to go on for a future which they have and will have. We, sitting in the ghettos, children, did not have such a hope. That was the purpose of devoting our financial support to institutions like yours and similar ones. It is my pleasure to be able to be here with you when you've opened up the plaque in my husband's name as well as in mine. I thank you very much. And with it go my blessings for a successful academic year, which is going to begin probably maybe in summer courses or in the fall, and success in the future. Love you, young people. Wish you all the best.
Bravo. Well said,
I think
Mom.
Lucia needs to run.
Very,
for
very
the
well
Knesset.
said, Mom.
I beg your pardon?
You have
Very
to run
well
for the
said, Mom.
Knesset,
Really
Mom.
beautifully said. I'm sorry,
Thank
Neil. Go ahead.
She should run for the Knesset. Look, that's as good a speech as I ever heard.
Really? Well, in the Knesset, they will probably outspeak me. The one thing which we are very capable of is to talk. And I am part of it. And I am part of it. The point is, my children, when you say, Mom, you talk a lot about it. And my answer to you is always, what? But they listen. And they don't stop me. And you know what? My gift is, when we were trying to speak from our places in the ghetto, incarcerated, extorted, punished, physically abused, and finally killed, when we tried to speak, did anybody listen to us? And if they did listen to us, did they hear us? Now I'll make sure that they both listen to me, and people like myself, only the remnant of the remnant, because those who survived to begin with were a remnant. That's where the numbers are from. 6 million, 1 million, perhaps 1.5 million children. That's where the numbers come from. We know that perhaps they could not have stopped Hitler completely, but there was a time when he could have been warned. There was a time when the world should have listened. They didn't. And if they listened, they didn't hear us. Now I'm here to speak in my advanced age, past 90, in order for people to know, to be warned, and to teach. That is my statement for you children and for those who work with the children today.
In addition, I want to thank you again for empowering the periphery in Israel, because we are in the southern periphery of Israel, And as you know, we are lack of lots of resources. By your donation, we can again bridge the gap. And again, thank you very much for your empowering and inspiring.
I want to thank you, and Shubaba will join me in a minute, of course, in thanking you. It's been a very moving speech. I always like to hear you talk. Also, the last time was amazing. Baba knows when we got out from your apartment, I told her that the speech was very moving also last time. I mean, talk. So thank you very much.
Amen. Hopefully, me too. My prayers for all of you and for those who will go through the doors and the classes in your school. May they be blessed in their efforts for their own benefit and for the benefit of our people and the world at large.
Amen. And thank you, Ort. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, our friends in Israel, for all that you've done for our family and you continue to do for Jews and for Israel all around the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm just going to add my few words here, even though you are one tough act to follow, Lucia. As Moshe said and everyone said here, we all love to hear you speak, but there's a real reason for that. You don't waste your words at all. Everything that comes out of your mouth is a gem and just really a reflection of all of your values, the life that you and Bernard lived, the way you raised your family. Like, it really is so special to spend time with you. And the flip side of that is you're just the most charming family. Even just on a text chain, I'm always laughing. There's always someone cracks a joke, someone reacts. Like, there's just so much smiles. I mean, from such a serious, meaningful commitment that you have to combating anti-Semitism, not letting anything like what happened to you and your family repeat. There's also this sort of joy of life and just happiness in your family. And it's so special to be around. And really, on behalf of Ort America, we can't thank you enough for this kind of gift. You are so special in making these transformative gifts that really make a huge impact, change people's lives, let people get that education that they need so that they can have the joyous, successful lives that you've been able to build for yourselves. And there's nothing greater than that. The one thing no one's mentioned yet, which I always associate with you, Lucia, is the original or mission commitment to, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach him how to fish, he eats for life. And I know that that's what you always stood by. And here it is in action. And look, we hope we'll have many more opportunities to share with you the impact of all of your contributions. As Moshe said, this is one. We continue to give scholarship funds to students in the periphery so they can attend the college and attend the classes, and that continues with your support year after year. And of course, the students in Dimona who are learning robotics and winning international competitions. Your funds let us partner with the municipality there to continue that work. There's just so many wonderful things that will keep happening with your generous gift, and I look forward to our next visit and seeing all of you anytime we can. So really, thank you.
And Barbara, don't forget, David's very successful. You need to hit him up. Go for it.
Okay,
well, of course.
That's why I don't hear responses from him as often. I understand.
Well, you prompted me to think, if you give a man a fish, but he doesn't happen to like fish, maybe, you know, if you give him an egg, he makes an omelet. But if you teach him how to raise chickens, he can have lots of omelets. So there must be a metaphor. There must be and of course, this actually is relevant because our family on dad's side, we're chicken and egg farmers. So there's a connection there somewhere to welding. I'm not sure what it is, but there's got to be a connection there somewhere.
There's definitely a connection to Ort because we do farming, and I'm happy to talk with you about all of our agri-tech projects in Israel. So there's always next conversation.
I see it. The Milch hen house. It's a vision.
I think it's going to be a cowshed, but you know,
my dear
we'll
boys, Barbara and my dear boys, on a more serious note, I pray to God that he may bless all our efforts. Israel needs it. We all know on a daily basis. But one thing I will tell you, and I probably am borrowing it from books on Zionism, I don't know which one, and the expression is, if you will it, it will happen. And we are willing prosperity and peace and a future for our people, for the state of Israel, and for peace at large. That I want to leave you with those thoughts. May God bless all our efforts, that from now on, things will be wonderful, peaceful, and with hope.
Amen. Amen to that.
Amen. Thank you, Lucia. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
And hope to see you soon in Israel.
Thank you to our friends here in New York and in Israel.
Done.
See you soon.
Good work.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Moshe, and you guys. Use it well.
Thanks, Allison. Mom, we love you. Thank you, Erica.
It looks beautiful.
I gotta run.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Mom, you did a good job.
Are we off Zoom now?
Yeah, it's just you and me.
Still recording?
Hey, hi, Erica. How are you?
How are you? Good thing Danny was here. My daughter. It is lovely.
I love the plaque.
The plaque is very, very beautifully lovely.
The
Very
Lucia and Bernard Milch Welding Center. Lovely. Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you.
When next time I go to Israel, actually, I'm going to be in Israel in about 3 weeks. I'll try to. It's a little bit far away from Tel Aviv, but at some point we'll go down.
If you will,
David, we can go here if you want to see the plaque. Of course.
You're near Dimona?
No, the Beersheba and Dimona are 25 minutes apart, by the way. So it's very close.
Where are you? Which city are you in or closest to?
Now, specifically, now the college is in Beersheba. My office is in Tel Aviv.
But where is the facility? The facility with the plaque, where is that? You're breaking up a little bit, the connection.
From Waldorf. So my office, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
What is
the facility? The facility is in Beersheba. Beersheba, it's in the south, and it's 20.
See, they're breaking up, right?
You're breaking up. Okay, you're near Beersheba. I know.
5 minutes from Dimona.
Okay. I'll be there for a week for board meetings. It might not be possible. I'm in Tel Aviv and Caesarea and Jerusalem, but at some point
we are in Beersheba. Okay, so great. We'll be in contact.
Very good. Very good. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Mom. Love you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye, children. And goodbye to all of you in Israel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lucia did a great job. Now I have to leave.
You always say that.